Hey, what's up, guys? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Uh, all right, so I set this up just to get a an actual just to test the actual microphone and the whole connection thing. Uh, we are secure. All right, so I don't usually go anything on the political side, but I've been hearing these interviews with these press conferences with the actual the governor of Texas, and one thing learn, I did learn the hard way. Actually, Californians and Texan Mexicans we're different. We are very, very different in the way we carry ourselves and the way we think, actually. And when that happens, and you have to work together, even the linguistics, the language is different. I tend to think that Texans are more on the more polite side, but yet can be very blunt and to the point. Where California Mexicans are more on the relaxed side, and they kind of dismiss the whole uh, politeness, being we're all the same, right? Same like Mexicans and Mexicans. But over there, I got the feeling, and I got the actual the the feedback from Texans that they're a little different. We could all agree on that. But he's this governor's. He just keeps repeating, and then it makes me it makes me embarrassed for him because he keeps saying about the new administration, this and that, the administration, their policies, and well, no policy has changed yet. Let's get that. Let's get that. Let's be out there. Memos can be taken in a different direction, but policies on paper laws, they have not changed yet. They have not been approved yet. Don't get me wrong. A president can and will change his policies for immigration. That is a guarantee. That is a guarantee. He does have that power, and he will choose to execute that power. But when a governor is actually trying to put it off actual on a political party, that doesn't flow because first of all, border patrol agents are not babysitting all these kids that are coming across, all this surge of illegal immigration. There's a surge because of the whole pandemic. There's a surge because these workers are actually late to get to their plants or to get to their farms or to get to their agriculture positions. They're late. They should have been there since the end of January, and we're almost at the end of March, so they are late. The kids part, I don't get. I don't get the kids part because he's stating that they're sending kids over here uh, with no parents, no guardians. I don't get that. You know, the kids we used to run to down in Imperial Beach, all we would do is just run them back. They wouldn't try to put up for amnesty or actually put down any kind of asylum or that. We just pushed them back. We just chased them back, and that was it. That was it. Now they said that FEMA's going to go down there. Well, FEMA is just a money machine. It's just a money cow. That's all it is. They're just going to feed, feed. All they're going to do is throw the money at it. That's all they're there for. They're not there to take all responsibility for all the surge of illegal immigrants. They're not there to do any of that. All they're gonna do is just all they're there for is actually throw money, and they're very, very helpful. They're very, very helpful. My first real actually assignment was in '94 when we went out with FEMA for the Northridge earthquakes. Now, because they were gonna hand out, well, because they were set to hand out cash because all the everything was closed. Everything buildings were shut down. Buildings were knocked down. Apartment buildings were knocked down. The hospital buildings were knocked down. So they were giving out whole cash. So we needed to actually pull security along with the National Guard. And the National Guard is actually pretty helpful, especially when you're gonna actually set up security and perimeters for blocks and blocks. Very, very good source to have around. As a matter of fact, I remember we were setting up shop in a park, and the National Guard put up tents. They put up all these tents. They put up all these makeshift tents. They had everything actually pretty good organized. One tent even housed tuberculosis families. They secluded them, to quarantine them there, and and every day the Salvation Army would come by with hot plates and just start handing them out to all the troops, all the federal employees. Hot food, Salvation Army. They passed out cigarettes at that time. Back then, they passed out cigarettes too. Whoever smoked, they had them for you, right? So we're there, and next thing I see a Budweiser truck, a semi truck, pull back. He's pulling in reverse. I'm like, oh yeah, it's on now, right? So passing out cigarettes, passing out food. What more do you need? You start dropping off the beer. Driver pulls up, parks, undoes the back lift gate, and starts palleting Budweiser cans and pallets. I'm like, oh yeah, it's on now. There's plenty for everybody because it's whole semi truck full, right? So they start taking it across, and then the people who are in charge of the actual logistics, they actually just start separating these pellets and start separating these pellets by section. Uh, the aluminum cans that said Budweiser, they had the Budweiser label. They were purified water to drink. It was before bottled water, so that was our actual water source right there. So I thought it was funny at the time. And so yeah, I got set up with the police station out there. I don't know if it was Fullerton or Fontana. I forget the name. It started with the F. I know that. And I got assigned there. It was actually cool because it's a police station, so you got showers. You got somewhere to take it. To fall asleep. So it was actually a good time. The rest of my partners were outside sleeping in the park in a tent. So it was pretty cool to be inside the building. So that was my first deployment to with FEMA. Actually, my second because I yeah, 93 were when the Missouri River overflowed. That was my first one. That's right. The 94 was okay. That was my second one. My second one. I forgot about the Missouri overflooding in '93 in the summer of '93. Yeah, we were out there also uh, pulling security guard for FEMA. Yeah. So when this governor is actually throwing all this gas at the new administration, I'm not going to mention the administration because I am neither left or right. Understand that. I just come from whatever we can get for ourselves. That's what it's all about because they're getting theirs. We got to help ourselves get ours right. So he's see, he's just constantly just same old news. All these kids. But this has been going on for years. This has been going on before the pandemic, and neither one of them has had a solution, and they've had multiple chances to execute this problem. What I don't hear is what happened to all these. They're not just from Mexico either. These kids are from other Latin America countries. What happened to their consulados, to their consulates? Do they not have them here in the United States? Do they not have an embassy here? You don't hear anything about that. They're the ones that should be taking responsibility for all these kids to their assigned country. I'm not hearing any of that. That's the number one person agency you should be hearing of is a consulate, because at the end of the day, they're responsible for their citizens. But you don't hear that. Also, when you have these many agencies, sometimes it's hard to communicate. Sometimes you just overlook each other on the actual basis of they pick and choose who they want to see. What's up, Paul? And so and then the very last comment he made that I didn't really agree with. He was putting all these kids supposedly they're all at risk for sexual and trafficking from these cartel members. Cartel members don't have time for kids. There's no money in kids. Be realistic. Come on, there's no money in kids. So why would you accuse all the cartels for abusing all these kids? Why don't we just talk about all the DHS agents that are taking sexual favors supposedly for immigration status? Why don't you bring that up? See, I don't know if it's happening. I just made that up, just like the governor made up of the cartels smuggling these kids for sex trafficking. They don't have time for that. They're too busy fighting wars down south to be worried about these immigrants having to cross the whatever border. And it's easy just to throw the kids out there and just claim for amnesty. No guardianship, no adults. Send them to the consulate. Hey Paul, I just want to get in here test the volume. If you can, if I'm coming out kind of bad on the volume or on the actual on the receiving end, let me know. And I just want to do a quick video to test and get out some information about the immigration thing. No, 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 Katrina, no, no, I wasn't even around. That was that was that was Bush. And check this out, Paul. My team was my team was so flexible that 9/11 happened under Bush that Tuesday. My team from San Diego was in the New Jersey docks with customs that following Thursday. Less than 48 hours later, they were already on the ground, but helping out at the harbor at New Jersey. And they have some interesting stories on the agents that were assigned to that port. They have some interesting ones, and they said there's no way there's no corruption going through there. But that's how fast our team could be deployed to an area that was needed. On 9/11, on the 13th of that Thursday, they were there in the afternoon already, working for actual for the port at New Jersey. All right, Paul, I'm gonna go cut it off right here, and I'm gonna set up a live stream next week. I'll let you know ahead of time. Okay? And thanks for helping me out, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, Paul. Okay? Thanks a lot. You have a good what is it, morning over there or good night? Good night, right? Think. All right, Paul. Thanks a lot.